This is the end for you, Gorm.
Oh, is it? Euripides never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No, you are your father.
Wait, what?
Matt, your pan's gone in 5 minutes.
Knock next time. What did you see?
I didn't see anything, Matt. I didn't see you play with your dolls again.
They're not dolls, they're action figures!
Yes, Matt.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a random review. Today we're taking a look at set number 8310, Nick Bluetooth. The set was released in 2002, contains approximately 12 pieces, and during time of release was about $10. So this has to be the most fascinating LEGO product I've ever reviewed. Just period. And trust me, I've reviewed a lot of fascinating things, don't get me wrong. But this one is definitely the strangest. Now, a little bit of backstory. This is a part of the Galidor theme. Galidor was released in 2002, and back in the day, LEGO put a lot of their eggs in the Galidor basket. It launched with a TV show on, I want to say Fox, however, don't quote me on that, and it had this product line, of course. You know, it was supposed to be a very big thing. Now, Galidor ended up not really working out for the LEGO group. Instead, what ended up working, which they didn't really put a whole lot of the eggs in that basket, was Bionicle. So this is kind of an interesting look into an era of LEGO that a lot of people, I would say, have opinions on. It's a very controversial time. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Now, obviously enough, this is unopened, at least so far as I can tell. You know, this container it's a little broken, but I digress. So I've never opened one of these. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, okay. Come on. Oh. I think I just heard all the Galidor fans crying out. Like a disturbance in the force was felt by what just happened here. Hey, cool, I got a leg. Okay. Let's go ahead and get all these pieces out. Oh, on the back, we do have some advertisements for the other stuff. Here we have Nick Bluetooth glinching into Euripides, and I don't know how a full body glinch really works, but there you go. So, you can see a lot of the other products. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what we actually have here. Another thing that was in the container was this. This looks to be some... Okay, there are a lot of paper materials here. Let's see what this one is first. Oof. Ow, that's, okay. I can imagine this is a little painful to Galidor fans. It is for the club, LEGO Club. Okay, that's cool. And what is this? Oh, well, this is awfully neat. It is a Galidor poster. And it's got all these sets, or at least the main characters of the show. And on the back, it's horizontal. And you've got this kind of neat diagram here. Interesting. I did not know that this was packaged in this. So that is very cool. Now, as for the actual set itself, let's go ahead and get started. And we are going to go ahead and build Nick Bluetooth. I'm going to make some assumptions here as to how this is going to be constructed. So we'll just kind of piece them together one by one. We can tell that Nick Bluetooth is a fashionable person because he wears cargo pants, and I wear cargo pants. So clearly, we're already off to a really great start. And here we have it, Nick Bluetooth. Now, okay, how do I approach this? Obviously enough, being a fan of Bionicle, or most construction figures, and construction means constructible action figure, one of the various conversations that comes up at least with other general system fans of LEGO, is whether or not construction is, well, really LEGO. Because a lot of people put a lot of stock into the iconography of the brick, because that's what LEGO is generally known for now. I, of course, being a fan of Bionicle and general construction, will often and regularly make the argument that, of course, construction is LEGO because, well, LEGO makes it, and it follows a lot of the formula and a lot of the values of LEGO building bricks. Now, this is one of those situations where I can see the argument that this doesn't look like a LEGO product. It looks like a fairly generic action figure because there aren't any connection points. The only LEGO-esque part about this is that these are used fairly regularly in a lot of different products. You can find these in Knight's Kingdom 2, and you can find these in Bionicle. Outside of that, it looks like something you'd find from a G.I. Joe line, or some similar equivalent. As we can see here, the construction isn't even entirely plastic. We have metal screws in this arm. Now, metal in LEGO sets is not unbelievable. Obviously, it has happened before. However, it's kind of telling that this has a screwed construction as opposed to other spring lock mechanisms which you generally don't expect to see screws in. So, this is certainly a product of its time. Now, the set itself with this arm has about 10 points of articulation, and that's bumped up to 12 when you put the other arm on. That is not counting the hand being able to do this. As far as functionalities are concerned, obviously enough, you do have this arm, and if you press down, it will punch. It's kind of one of those cartoonish boxing glove mechanisms. Pow! Got him! So, I mean, that's interesting, although it does make posing it a little difficult at times, because you accidentally hit that, obviously enough. As far as the look of the figure, I did mention it does look like it is any kind of action figure or standard off-the-shelf G.I. Joe, and that is apparent in the design of the pieces. This clearly looks like pants. You can see the seams, you can see the belt. Obviously, it's got cargo pockets, so I'm quite partial to that at the very least. But it certainly looks like it's meant to be more of a standard action figure than anything else. Of course, you can build it, you can construct it, and there is some mobility in the sense that you can add different things onto it. And one of the selling points of Galidor was that one of the powers in the show was glinching. You could glinch. And what glinching was essentially you could take certain limbs from other people and use it for your own purposes. So this would be a limb from something or someone else that Nick Bluetooth could exchange. Now, this in and of itself is kind of a fun feature. It's a nice, I hesitate to say the word gimmick, but it's certainly something that's not on its own bad. Although with Galidor, obviously it can seem a tad peculiar at times, especially with some of the unusual pieces that look kind of almost alien, although I guess that is some of the appeal. Because obviously Nick is a human, so having these robotic or alien limbs is kind of a fun feature. As far as the face is concerned, this is actually one point of this set that I actually think is done better here than has been done better in recent times. Obviously enough, LEGO does have buildable action figures, construction figures, which have humanoid faces. Unfortunately, they often fall into the uncanny valley. They're awfully strange looking. This one, while it is not necessarily a photorealistic look, is certainly more acceptable than a lot of the modern LEGO faces. So, I actually don't mind the head. It looks human, but it doesn't look disturbing. As far as balance is concerned, unfortunately, this set doesn't have a whole lot of great balance. It's difficult to actually get him to stand upright if you want him in any sort of cool action pose. This is, of course, due to the feet. Their articulation is fairly limited just to this circle here. And, of course, they aren't on any kind of a snap-on joint. These are already on these legs, on some kind of a ball joint. I'm not honestly certain what they are specifically. So the only real pose where he doesn't have a whole lot of trouble staying upright is when he's just standing there, which I find to be immensely disappointing. So overall, it's a peculiar set. It's certainly a product of its time of 2002, and being a Bionicle fan and a general LEGO fan, it's awfully out of place. It looks definitely like something you would find made by Hasbro as opposed to LEGO. And to that extent, that is a lot of the reason why LEGO fans, at least in the current age, turn away from Galidor sets. Because clearly there aren't a whole lot of ways to integrate it with other LEGO pieces like there are other construction parts, such as Bionicle or even the creature and character building system, the CCBS. However, there are some connection points where you can connect it with pinholes right here, of course, but outside of that one application, it is very difficult to work these pieces in with other LEGO parts. Now, I'm sure at this point, a lot of you might be saying, well, LJ, is it possible to get an upgraded version of Nick Bluetooth? Well, to that I say, there absolutely is. Introducing, boom, Nick Deluxe! That's right, everyone. I present to you set number 8313, Nick Bluetooth Deluxe. The set was released also in 2002, contains approximately 15 pieces, and during time of release was approximately $15. So this is a vastly more interesting set to someone like me, because this has a few interesting talking points. For starters, when it was released, it had a part-to-price ratio of $1 per piece. That's awfully fascinating for conversation, of course. Now, at the end of the day, they're just numbers, and as you can see here, these are larger, more specialized pieces, which, of course, is why that is the case. But this is also $15 in 2002 money. The most interesting aspect, to me at the very least, is this right here. This is a sticker that says New Constructible Action Figures. As far as I'm aware, and I cannot find anything else that says this, so correct me if I am wrong, this is the only LEGO product that actually coined the term constructible action figures officially. This is what construction figure stands for. So I find that to be unbelievably fascinating. So the box is awfully similar to the last one. It is larger, of course, and up in the right-hand corner, we actually have a unmarred image of Matthew Ewald. You can see that right there. That is the actor that played Nick Bluetooth in the television show. And on the back, we do have the standard advertising for other things, the functionality of this set, the fact that you can work it in with another one, in this case it is Gorm, and of course all the other sets that you can possibly get. So let's go ahead and bust this open. Alright, let's see. I'm assuming it's similar to the... Oh no, I tore it. Okay. Let's see if I can bust this open. I kind of want to preserve that sticker. Oh, okay, that opened way nicer than the last one. So we finally gotten everything out. We will just throw that out behind us. Now we do have another club advertisement, and I'm wondering if this is the same poster. Let me see here. Yes, okay, so it is. And that's fine. It's cool to have two of those. Let's see what we actually have down here. Okay, so we have quite a few pieces, and... Okay, we're going to need to do some comparisons here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and get started. And there we have it. It's Nick Bluetooth Deluxe. This is a fascinating set. As we can see, there are a lot of recolors, actually, given that the leg pieces are basically just the same, only in gray, and we see that these shoes are essentially just the same, except in black, as well as orange. The torso is additionally the same. Now it is in a darker shade of blue, which I find quite interesting. Now, the draw to this set is, of course, these wings. And we go ahead and fire these missiles like so. No, yep, there we go. Yep, and both of them, if you just press down, or press forward, there we go. Okay, yeah, so you press it forward like, well, that happened. So yeah, that is the functionality, obviously enough. You can just do that. Come on, gotta hold it a little bit. There we go. Okay, so you can fire it. It does work at the very least. And in addition to this, it does of course come with the arms and the map that they use throughout the show. This comes in a transparent or a semi-transparent blue, and it's kind of a neat novelty to have. Stability-wise, as you can compare with the original Nick Bluetooth, it's exactly the same, given that it's the exact same pieces. That just about covers everything here with these two sets. Galidor is a fascinating everything. Everything about it is just quite an experience. If you watch the show, it is an experience in and of itself. If you have the sets, if you're a fan of LEGO and you have the sets, it is an experience, given that these are vastly different from anything else LEGO has ever released. And it's almost a fun novelty in a sense. I don't necessarily regret buying either of these, and through being introduced to Galidor and the show and the sets, it's been fun to gather this new perspective on LEGO and its history. So, would I necessarily recommend getting any of these? I don't know if I would actively recommend it. However, if you are interested in the experience and if you're a fan of the show, absolutely go for it. You can find these relatively cheap on eBay. However, I do recommend you look into that somewhat soon because popularity or a cult following is kind of growing, so these might get a bit harder to find. But that about settles everything. I hope you've enjoyed this review and learned something by watching us today. Special thanks to Matthew Ewald, who was the actor for Nick Bluetooth, for assisting me in that skit at the beginning of the video. Turned out wonderfully. I had a great time talking to him and hanging out at Brick Fair. It was just simply a blast, and hopefully you've all enjoyed. So thank you all so very much for watching. Farewell.